Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of the city of London in England. Now, the city of London is not London, but it kind of is, but it is not. The city of London, you'll find out why it's not in history, but it is a little area along the Thames River here, surrounded by Greater London, which is the rest of London. It's known as the Square Mile because that's kind of ish how big it is. It is a big financial center within London, and you can find some very famous sites within the city of London, but not the ones you're thinking of. Not Parliament, there's no palaces there, so no Buckingham Palace or anything. Those are all in Greater London. And later on in Google Earth, we'll go take a peek at those. We can't not while we're here. It was like when we were in Cairo. The pyramids aren't in Cairo, but you can't not look at the pyramids when you're in Cairo, So we'll go poke around at those at the end of the video in Greater London. But we are going to talk about the city of London. So I think without further ado, I just need to get into history. If you're very confused, this will answer it. So in the year 43 CE, the Romans arrived here and they established a settlement called Londinium. And it was actually a very thriving little Roman city here along the Thames. They built a big wall around it between the years 190 and 225. And it did very well for itself in terms of Roman settlements here in Great Britain, in Britannia. But eventually Roman power would wane and the Romans would leave Great Britain by the year 410. Londinium would pretty much collapse after that and would be pretty destitute, pretty much an abandoned area. It wouldn't be revitalized until the year 886 when the Anglo-Saxon king Alfred the Great refortified the area and said, people, come move here. Come live in Londinium. It's not bad. It's a good little spot on the river. And it has been thriving ever since the year 886. Now, of course, a bit later, in 1066, William the Conqueror would invade from Normandy and take over much of southern England up into Wales and all of that, much farther out, right? But he would arrive here at Londinium and said, you know what, you guys are doing your own thing there, you're all fortified, tucked in. We're going to come to an agreement that you guys can run yourselves. And they were like, okay. So they came to this agreement. Essentially, Londinium had its autonomy. But William the Conqueror did build 3 big towers outside of the walls, one of which still exists today, which is, of course, the Tower of London, which is not within the City of London. The City of London administers it, but it's not within the borders of the City of London today. He also established his own city just outside the walls, known as Westminster, and that is where the heart of UK politics is located, and essentially where the United Kingdom is ran from, the city of Westminster. So if you're in London, you will see signs that say City of Westminster. You'll see City of London signs in the City of London. They're very separate things. They were never officially combined, even though, of course, Westminster grew and grew and grew all around surrounding the City of London. And, of course, the Roman walls were crumbled by that point. So one flows into the other. You can't really tell. There are signs and little dragons that delimitate the borders of the City of London, but they flow one into the other, but they are not the same. It's very important things did happen, though, in the city of London, mainly in the year 1666, where a fire started within the city of London and engulfed the entire city, pretty much, known as the Great Fire of London. Many important places burned to the ground, including the main church, or I don't know if it was a cathedral then, but it was the main religious center of the city of London, known as St. Paul's. I think it was a cathedral. St. Paul's would be rebuilt in 1708, designed by architect Christopher Wren, and that is the building that you see today. St. Paul's, one of the most famous sites in London, even though it isn't in London, it's in the city of London. There's a very famous image of St. Paul's in 1940 during the Blitz, also known as the Second Great Fire of London, where the German Luftwaffe was bombarding England at nighttime, and many parts of London were completely bombed out, and many parts of the city of London were also bombed out, but St. Paul's survived intact. And there's that famous image of all the smoke and fire billowing in the background, and you can see gleaming white St. Paul's in the forefront, standing tall, very symbolic of the UK during World War II. There were some other sad events that occurred in the city of London. There was an IRA bombing in 1993. And of course, there was the 7/7 bombings throughout London, one in the city of London. But other than that, the city of London really has been expanding upward in terms of skyscrapers. You can find very famous landmark, the Gherkin there, which had just finished being built when I first visited London and the city of London, among many others, which we'll look at on Google Earth. So that is the city of London. It's its own thing. They have their own mayor. They have their own police force. If the monarch, I guess now the king of the UK, of England, needs to visit, they have to ask permission to enter. Because there was a point, I want to say in the 1600s or 1700s, where they were debating if Greater London should be combined with the City of London, and the City of London voted no. No, we are our own thing. So they're separate from the rest of London. Even though, like I said, City of London does administer lots of things within London, like the Tower, and Tower Bridge is administered by the City of London, even though they're not within the City of London. They take care of it. Among other landmarks, you have to look around for City of London signs with dragons on them. That tells you that that belongs to not this London, but the other London. Isn't that neat? I didn't know this until I visited. We were at the Tower of London, and we saw what's left of the Roman wall outside. And I saw the sign that said City of London. And I was like, well, why is that there? I asked my friend, and they explained it to me. Like, why? But now we know why. It's always been its own thing since the year 886. And it officially became its own thing in 1066, thanks to William the Conqueror. And it's still its own thing today. Isn't that so wild? If you didn't know that about London, let me know in the comments. Because apparently not a lot of people know that City of London even exists, and that City of London doesn't mean London. Do you get what I'm saying? It's so confusing. I think that we should hit the lights, and I'll grab my tablet, and we will explore the City of London on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in the City of London. Doesn't look like much from here. Now you can see the borders. This is the City of London. That's it. That's all it is. Just this bit here is the City of London. And then you can see the rest of Greater London all around it. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Sometimes there's England. London's right down here. I feel like it's one of those places that it's like, if you don't know where it is, don't worry, I'll show you. I feel like everyone knows where the United Kingdom, or at least can find it on a globe or on a map. And London's right down here. Very, very easy to find. I just remembered when I was setting up the tablet that every time I do a video about England, I say something that's like 100% wrong. And when someone points it out, I'm like, why did I say that? So I want to know what it is. What did I say that was super wrong? Let me know. Every time I do an England video, I just say something that's completely wrong. I don't mean to. I like don't listen to myself when I'm talking. I just go when I'm filming things. So let me know. Oh, you can see the skyscrapers here. Let's put it in 3D so you can see them. So over here we have the Gherkin, which was officially called 30 St. Mary's Avenue, but everyone calls the Gherkin. Next to it is the cheese grater. Look at that. And then this one over here is the walkie-talkie. Lots of cute nicknames for the buildings here. Really, the Gherkin, I think, really started the whole nickname trend for weirdly shaped buildings here, but they all have little nicknames. And take a look at the Gherkin. If you don't know, a gherkin is a type of pickle. It's a pretty building. Like I said, the first time I visited London was when this building was just completed, and it was like a laughingstock because people were like, it's so ugly, so ugly. But I was like, I think it's kind of nice. It's just different is all. It doesn't blend in with the rest of London, but it's its own thing. I like it. I think it's neat. But I couldn't say that out loud, or else I'd get roasted by the English. There's nothing like getting roasted by an English person. It's a whole different kind of roast. What else can we see? Oh, where was I reading about this? It was in like Atlas Obscura or something, the Dennis Severs' house. This is so random, but this is a museum. This is not real. This is all constructed recently to look like an old Victorian place, and they created stories for Dennis Severs and his family. They're not real people. And there's little sounds and things, so it sounds like they're home. So it's like you're just immersed in this soundscape. Where was I reading that? In some book that I checked out from the library, probably. I was reading about the Dennis Severs' house. Over here, we can find the monument to the Great Fire of London, right here. And if I can find, here we go, this plaque. It says, near this site stood the shop belonging to Thomas Ferner, the king's baker, in which the Great Fire of September 1666 began. To mark the 500th anniversary, it was presented by the Worshipful Company of Bakers to mark the 500th anniversary of their charter, granted by King Henry VII in 1486. Isn't that wild? But yeah, that's where the Great Fire began. Over here you can see London Bridge, which isn't very like, wow, everyone thinks Tower Bridge is London Bridge. It is not. London Bridge is the very first bridge built over the Thames here. Oh, there's a little dragon telling you that you're in City of London. You'll see these all throughout the City of London. But yeah, the original bridge, I read that it was built near the current London Bridge. But there's been a couple, oh, hey Shard. There's been a couple London bridges. One of them famously fell down. So that's the current one. We have over here some Roman baths, some leftovers from Londinium. What once was, there's the Shard. Lots of buildings around. You are here, yes, really. You are really in what was once a Roman bath, built by the Romans. Isn't that wild? And then we can see what's left of the wall over here. There's the tower. And over here is the London Wall. This is the wall that I saw and was like, oh, that's cool. Why is it called City of London? This is, I think, the biggest chunk. There's little chunks here and there, and there's a chunk actually in the Tower of London. But this, I believe, is the biggest piece of the Roman wall that survived. The Roman wall walk. And you can go and explore all the bits of the wall that still survive. There's the tower. A walled city. You can read all about an imposing stone wall once surrounded the city of London. Short sections like this are all that remain. That's what it once looked like. Now it looks like this. There's another piece over here somewhere. Oh well, there's little bits here and there. Maybe we'll find some, but I don't want to wander out of the city by accident. But I found other bits of the wall throughout. Over here. Oh gosh, Google Earth, why? Why is it always crashing on me? Gosh. Oh goodness. It still hasn't crashed yet. It's trying so hard to do it. Come on. Come on. Just do it. Just put yourself out of your misery. There you go. Poor Google Earth. I don't know why it does that. Every time it has an update, I'm like, oh, maybe the crash issue will be fixed. But it never is. I don't know what that sound was. If you heard that, that must have been a cat somewhere. Or maybe something on the roof. All right, back to the City of London. Here's the Bank of England. Yes, the Bank of England. Dum dum dum. Big, big Bank of England. Very imposing, isn't it? And next to it is the mayor's building. This is where the City of London is ran from, although I couldn't find a slideshow for it. It's War Memorial, but not this building here. This is where City of London is ran, right across from the Bank of England. Like the Bank of England. And yeah, you can tell that this area is just the main center of all kinds of industry and business. Business. When I visited here, we went to St. Paul's, of course. There were lots of people walking by in business suits on their phones, holding suitcases, briefcases, looking very important. Here's some more Roman ruins. These kind of look like bodies, but I could be wrong. The Mithraeum. Lots of cool artifacts here that have been found. Wow. Yeah, this is very much what it looks like today. The Tauroctony. There it is. Lots of neat old, wow, dangling from the ceiling. That seems very precarious. I was about to say, what if there's an earthquake? You can tell I'm Californian. What if that's not earthquake safe? But London doesn't really get earthquakes. Wow, I can explore the under. Little spoons? Little bells? I'm not sure. Lots of little Roman things. But over here, here's the Guildhall. That's also important to City of London history, where all of the guilds of the city would meet. Basically run the city. There's the Duke of Wellington there. I think that's is that his tomb? Is he at St. Paul's? That would make sense. But here's St. Paul's. Dun, dun, dun. St. Paul's Cathedral. Very, very iconic building here in the City of London. And in London. There we go. St. Paul's Cathedral. Yes, many famous events in British history have taken place. And there are many people, like I said, interred here. Like Christopher Wren is buried within St. Paul's, among many other important peoples. But I feel like most of the important people are over in Westminster Cathedral. But there are still, yeah, important people. I remember this view. This would be where I was walking to St. Paul's and seeing all the people in business attire, doing business things on their business phones. And then, of course, the temple area commemorates where there was once a Roman temple. There's another Oh, it's a beefed out dragon. Their arms are thick. Yeah, the whole temple area over here, which you can see. Oh, not city. I thought that was the underground station, the temple station. But yeah, that is that. And that is essentially the city of London in a nutshell. There's a lot more to see. I always encourage you to explore these areas on your own. Maybe you can find the other bit of wall that was around here somewhere. But with that being said, let's just go peek at the rest of London. We, of course, have the tower over here. This bit built by William the Conqueror, and the rest has been expanded upon. You can see there's a bit of Roman wall right there, Roman wall of Londinium. It's where the crown jewels are kept, and the ravens. And that leads out to Tower Bridge over here. Very iconic building there. City Hall's over here for Greater London. And then, of course, the Shard poking up there. The tallest building in the UK. Big, pointy shard. And if we go over here, there's the HMS Belfast, and the Golden Hind is over there. The Globe Theatre's over there. It is over here. Of course, not the original. This has been rebuilt. The Tate is over here. The Millennium Bridge. But if we go this way past the London Eye at some point, past the London Eye, there it is, the London Eye, we arrive here at Westminster. It's the embankment. I got lost. Aha. There's Westminster Bridge. I thought that was Westminster Bridge. It is not. This is Westminster Bridge. And then we see Big Ben, Westminster Palace, and the Houses of Parliament here. We've got Westminster Cathedral, Abbey, not a cathedral, an abbey. We head over here, and this is where the government is mostly ran. Downing Street's right here. It's where the Prime Minister lives, who... The day I started researching for City of London and writing the script was the day Keir Starmer resigned. I thought, oh boy, so, I don't know, by the time you see this, there might be a new Prime Minister. We head down till we reach Trafalgar Square. There's Nelson's column up there. There's Nelson. Oh, there he is. He's loading. He's loading. Here's the lion that I fell off of. I didn't fall off of the lion, okay? You see they've got all these fences around it? They didn't have those when I was there, and people were climbing all over the lions, and I climbed up this one and jumped off, and that was the very first time my back went out. I jumped off, landed on my 2 feet, and just felt this lightning bolt of pain shoot up my back. And I had to go to Boots to get some ibuprofen cream. We come up here to the National Gallery. Probably my favorite museum that I visited in England. And then if we go over here, which it looks like it's all under construction. It looks like they're rebuilding the whole arch area here. Let me know, Londoners, if that's what's happening, or if it's done. It's all covered up. Maybe it's being restored. But normally you go through the regular arch here and you enter the Mall. Not the mall, the Mall. That's how it's pronounced. And we head down the Mall. You can see St. James Park is over here. And over here is St. James Palace and all of the other royal residences. See, that was Prince Philip House. Over here is St. James Palace. And we head down the Mall and we reach Buckingham Palace. There's Queen Victoria's monument there. Buckingham Palace. Now, Google Earth tries to erase all the humans, but there's so many people here. This looks like dirt. It looks really dirty, but it's actually Google trying to erase humans. It looks filthy, but every spot is a person. That's how many people are here that it looks like it needs to be power washed. But yeah, if we head over here, then we reach Hyde Park, where we can find Kensington Palace over here. Another very important residential area of the royal family. We can see, gosh, I'm trying to remember London by memory. It's High Street, Kensington. Do some fancy shopping over there. Kensington, it's shrinky over there. Oh, the Victoria and Albert Museum was my other favorite museum. This museum rocks. And they do lots of ASMR on their YouTube channel too. Nearby is Harrods, where I was forced to steal a bottle of water. It was very hot. It was a heat wave summer. And Harrods was closing. We were shopping around. And they were shutting down. So we're like, let's grab a quick bottle of water to just drink. And it was only £1. Like, let's grab a bottle of water as we leave. But all of the registers had shut down. And we were running all throughout Harrods, going up the escalators and stuff, trying to find a register to buy this bottle of water. And then security comes over and like, you have to leave. You have to leave. And we're like, but. And they're like, nope, get out. So they forced us to steal a bottle of water. We didn't mean to do it. Over here's Leicester Square. So it's definitely changed since I've been here. We'd come here and Piccadilly Circus to eat cheap food. British museums over here. There's so much to see in London, you guys. And that's not even half of it. Not even half. So I'm going to stop myself there before we run through more of... Oh, I didn't talk about Fleet Street. I guess we can end it there. All of the show kids are going, Fleet Street. Fleet Street. Like the demon barber of Fleet Street. Yes, that is the Fleet Street. And it goes through the city of London. But yeah, maybe if I tap Fleet Street here, we can end the video here. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Where are we going next? I can't see, I'm in the dark. We're going to, gosh, it was a capital city. Oh, I remember now. I'll give you a hint. It's a European capital city, a city of blank, and it is in Europe. So, sorry. Oh, there's the snowman. Can you guess where it is? It's not in this corner of Europe. It's in the other corner of Europe, on the other side. Let me know if you can guess what it is. Also, while you're down there making your guesses, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And yeah, let me know all your thoughts down below. And if you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. You can get some Cheshire cheese here. Check out my Cheshire video too. I had fun making Cheshire video. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night.